Hey, my name is Brent here on Cloudy with the Chance of Meeples. Today we are going to be diving into Aqua, and I'll try to refrain from any more bad puns as I move forward, but no promises. Today, tile laying game Aqua, all about creating a colorful, vibrant coral and attracting some animals. So let me show you how this plays in the radar overview, and it'll be a little bit more in depth because I'm going to show you how to play it solo. And it'll be very similar to playing it multiplayer, but without the interaction of people stealing your tiles. But at the end of a solo game of this, you'll get a good grasp as to how to play the game. So let me show you how it plays. The final forecast coming up. Cue the thunder. The easiest way for me to kind of show you how this game plays is to actually play a playthrough of a solo mode of this game. Of course, the solo mode plays a little bit different because you won't have other people drafting the tiles that you want, and there won't be that interaction of, you know, these animals being taken. But as I play this out solo, it'll give you a very good indication as to how the game plays. So in Aqua, biodiversity of the ocean, it actually comes with obviously the solo rules, and then scenarios in which you can play by yourself or with other players. And so you can track your progress. So I'm going to play, you know, scenario A. I have it set up for scenario A. I'm starting with my hotspot. I have the 6 different native animals all lined up. Each one of these goals are random each game. I have numbers 1 through 6. As noted in the rulebook, but it comes with 18 different ones. And so every game is going to feel wildly different because you can mix and match however you see fit, and then you'll take the 6 ones that you want, you'll shuffle them up, and then you'll randomly attach them to each of the different animals. So how does this game play? Well, it plays over 17 rounds, and on each round, a certain amount of tiles will be put out to be drafted from. And then starting with whoever is the start player, they will go first. Okay, so in the solo game, there's going to be 3 tiles out. I will take one, add it to my coral hotspot, and then discard the other 2. And after 17 tiles, then the game will be over. I'll explain how these come into play as that works. But let's just begin. So I'm going to take, let's say, I'm going to take this purple one and I'm going to attach it like that. So as you build out your reef or your coral hotspot, you can either make reefs or you can make actual hexes to attract animals. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I get to choose one of these 3, and I'm going to take this guy and discard the other 2, and I'm going to put it like this. Anytime I make a hex, as you see here, I can then attract that color animal, and I put it on top. So I'll get 3 points at the end of the game. What does this mean? Well, if I am ever able to build one of these big ones, and I would cover up like that, or I could flip it over, pick whichever side I wanted. If I'd ever build one of these, I would get then 4 points for each one of these purple tiles that I have anywhere in my reef. Because if it has, or not my reef, in my display. If it has a full moon, it means anywhere. If it has the little 2 circles intersecting, that means it has to be touching. So I'll get 1 point for every other animal this little crab is touching, if I build one at all. But let's just keep going. I'll take another 3. Let's see. I could do, no, see. I want to, oh yeah, there we go. That's nice. I can kind of work on a yellow one and a green one at the same time. Discard that and set up another round. You know what? I'm going to take this green one and I'm going to do like this. There you go. I'm going to discard that. I can either right now, I could put a turtle on there if I wanted, but I'm not going to, because anytime you have 4 or more of the single color, that creates a reef. At the end of the game, every native animal that's touching it will actually double. So I'm going to see if I can get a couple more animals around this green one so that they would all double. And of course, if I would put a green one here, I could decide then to, you know, put this little barracuda on top of that. But I'm not going to. Let's see what happens. Let's play this out. Wow, this is a few yellows. I could make a double reef on that. You know what? Let's do that. I'll make a double reef. And I'll discard that. I need another yellow here. Let's see. None of these really help me. Kind of at all. Oh, actually, there we go. I'll start making a couple more down below here. Discard that. And, well, I'm going to take this guy because that matches both my pink and my yellow. So I'll discard that, but I will, in fact, collect a little clownfish. I should say that if I would put this guy on top of here, anytime I put a larger animal on top of any of the small animals, any animal underneath these big tiles has to be different. Like, this couldn't have been 2 clownfish or 2 purple guys. I don't know what they actually are. It does show. What is it? Just so I get my terminology correct. What is that? Crown of Thorns starfish. It's pretty cool. They have all the animals, and then it shows you, you know, what they all are and just some facts about it. So that is the Crown of Thorns starfish. And next time I'll probably say just the purple guy. But let's move along. What to do? Kind of want a purple one here, but yeah, let's do that. Let's build one of these little crabs. Worth 2 points, but if I can build a purple guy here, or a pink guy here, pink seahorse, and blue one here, then they would both score me an extra point because they'd be adjacent. So let's see where we're at. Well, I can finish the blue one like that, and I think might just do that. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll do the blue one. Might want to try to get a reef connecting to these guys here, because then that would double each of those. Well, we'll find out. Well, halfway done here. Well, let's do this right like so. So I'll get my seahorse. So at this point, I could decide to take, you know, I could take this dolphin. I could put it here. I could also put it here. I would have to cover up at least one of the animals that I just placed right now. So I just placed the seahorse. So I could do this, but if I look, this dolphin's going to get me 3 points for every turtle. But I don't have any turtles, so maybe that's not a good one. This guy is 2 points for every seahorse is touching, so I could cover that up. Yeah, let's just do that. I think I want to do that. There you go. So you'll have like 3 layers at the end. Okay. So this one will score me double. The big one doesn't score double because of the reef, but this reef will score this one double and this clownfish double. But I want to try to get a reef attached to maybe this one as well. I already have a yellow reef, but let's see if I can get another purple. So decisions, huh? You know what, let's go here actually, because yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's see if I'm gonna run out of room here. in the camera frame potentially, but we'll make it work. I could actually do, if I do that, that finishes, yeah, you know what, let's do this. Because all of them will all score double because of that reef of the green area. 1, 2, 3. And of course, like I said, in multiplayer, whoever has the snail gets to go first each round. And if you don't care about the tiles that are presented in front of you, you could just take the snail to go first the next round, and then you would get one of the remaining tiles of the round as well. Okay, I need 60 points. So this is going to get me 2 points for every purple or seahorse. So you know what, then I'm going to build another seahorse. I'm going to scoot this down a little bit. Push this up. Okay, seahorse, there we go. I built another seahorse, and it'll double because it's beside a reef as well. So these are gone. Let's see if I have a chance to build something in the bottom here. I'll just scoot this down a little bit so that I can maybe get one of these bigger guys as well. And you know what? This is going to help me out. I'm going to do that. Hopefully I get another pink one, and then I can get this octopus guy. Although I'm not going to, oh yeah, I would score for that blue one. I'm searching for pink now. Well, there it is. Let's go like this. Although, okay, well now I'm for sure, I'm going to take this pink one, but I'm going to try to actually get this guy. I just need one more yellow. And chances are I'm going to get it. So I'm going to get this yellow. So I can get this guy now. So I'll discard that. And because they're all 4 different, I can take this guy and put him on there. And the last round of the game is this. And this is actually going to work out well for me because both these are double. So I can actually just do like this, scoot this up. And I just built another reef. So that will be the end of the game. So your board might look something like this. And then we'll move into final scoring. So let's get off the notebook that it comes with. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score up all of my big animals, which would be 20. Take these off. Okay, and now I would score all my native animals. So 3, 5, plus another 5 is 10, 15, 20, 23. I think I'm well on my way to getting my 60. And now we'll score all the reefs. So this reef will score me 3 points for this, 2 points for this, so that's another 5. And then this reef chunk of green, of course, again, it only has to be 4 or more. So this one would score me another 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 5, that's 12. At that point, we will go through each one of these endgame scoring. So the first one is 3 points for every turtle I have if I built a dolphin, which I did not, so I get 0 points for that. I didn't build any of these ones, so 0 points for that. Now the crab, 1 point for every adjacent animal, including it could be another crab, so I'll get 1, 2, 3 points for that. And then this guy, because I did build one of the little barracudas, I will get 2 points for every seahorse on my board. 2, 4, 6. And I built the giant one. I'll get 4 points for every one of these purple ones. So that'll be 4. I did not build a squid, so I'll get 0. So my score is 20, 43, 53, 50, 53, 54, 55, 55, 65, 68. So I looked like I was doing really well, but according to the little like solo score chart here, a great start. I didn't quite hit well done. So that in a nutshell is how you play I built reefs. That in a nutshell is how you build or play Aqua. Of course, like I said, this is the solo version of it, but it plays very similarly without kind of the interaction, because in this case, I got the most points for this one, but whereas in multiplayer, if someone would have gotten this one, I would have been the second one. I would have taken this tile worth only 13, and the third person goes and gets it, and they get 11. So this doesn't have the player interaction, but you're going to be building out these different tiles, and you'll score differently each game because every game is going to have different ecosystems, and depending on which ones come out. So this is 7 points if you build 3 of the same animal, but it could be attached to any of the 6. There's a couple of those, and then there's 1 point for every animal, but you cannot cover up certain animals. It says it explains all of them in the back of the rule book. So yeah, for every native small animal you have to score 1 point. Important large animals may not be placed on top of multiple of the same native animal, ignoring biodiversity. So it's got all the rules for the ecosystems. You got all the advanced ones and all the core ones, which that's what I played with. So there you have it. That is a playthrough overview of Aqua, biodiversity in the oceans. Let's move on over now and check out the final forecast. So the final forecast for Aqua, a tile laying game that proves that sometimes I can't count properly. But what do I think about Aqua? Let's start with the backstory of this. I find it fascinating. I'm someone who loves details and the inner workings of games and stuff. Father son Dan and Tristan Halstad started working on this sometime during the pandemic, and now we have a game that they worked on together, and it's playable. I think that's really, really cool. I think Dan designed Bees, the game. I think his son Tristan wants to be a marine biologist. And so they put those two, passions together, and Aqua is the sum of those two parts. And I think that's really cool, being a dad of a 10-year-old. My 10-year-old is starting to get into creative things and wants to, create different things. So I think that's really neat. Just because it's a neat backstory doesn't make it a good game. Well, let's dive into this. Let's talk about production. First, you got just thick, sturdy cardboard. Okay, these tiles are super, super thick. I noticed that the first time I opened the box and I did an unboxing, just thick cardboard tiles. That's fantastic, okay? Immersive insert, the box, everything about it. So the outside of the box looks like underwater, and you look at the inside of the bottom of the box, it looks like underwater. It's got even more on the inside of the lid. Just everything about this, the Sidekick Games, they really wanted you to feel immersed in this game. Artwork, vintage trait. A lot of people are going to be drawn to that. He's a great artist. It's not necessarily my art style, my favorite art style, but he speaks to a lot of people. So a lot of people are going to immediately see all that and going to be drawn to this game. Okay, I feel that this will have comparisons to games like Acropolis and Calico and Cascadia. I will say I haven't played any of those three, so I cannot compare at all this game, Aqua, to any of those three. But the whole tile laying, hex, pattern creating, things like that, that's going to, bring resemblances of those multiple games. And a lot of people love all those games. So I think this is going to speak to a lot of people. This is going to speak to people with the theme, the whole underwater theme, the whole look of it at the end. I thought it was going to be a little bit mind-boggling and hard on the eyes with the color schemes and how these things, and how you build this out. I was like, this is going to be hard on my eyes. But actually, it really isn't. It's got some cool 3D depth to it because you build your coral and then you're adding these small native animals, and then as soon as you have a certain amount of those, and depending on where they're at, then you're adding these bigger animals. So it's got 3 layers, and that's really, really cool. Gameplay is pretty simple. This is like on your turn, you're picking a tile, and if you don't like any of the tiles or you don't care about any of the tiles, you're picking the sea snail tile so you can go first on the next round, hoping that you get the tile that you want. You know, there is some pretty decent interaction in this game. You're going to have, you know, people stealing the tiles that you want. Sometimes you're like, I need this specific tile, and someone takes it. There can be hate drafting in this game. This might be too light for some people. But for others, I think this will be maybe, I don't want to say too much, but the op known for, I would say, more mass market games, Telestrations, a whole bunch of different versions of Monopoly, starting to maybe get into the hobby side of things. And so for some people, they'll look at this and be like, it's too light. It's not offering anything new. You're right. It doesn't really offer anything new. I mentioned those other games, Calico, Cascadia, Acropolis, all loved games. This is just another one that can be a loved game, per se. But I think the replayability in this is absolutely incredible because you have all of these ecosystems, which I will say that I think this one, I'm not going to claim that any of them are overpowered. Not any stretch of imagination. But this one, 7 points if you have 3 of the same animal. If this is linked to one of the native animals that have 3, and you're building 3 of these, you're going to get 7 points. Plus you're going to get, 9 points. And if you add it to a reef, man, this one specifically I feel can be pretty powerful. But there's like so many, 18 of them. So every game is going to feel wildly different because depending on which ones are in play, and they're all random. So which ones are attached to different native animal, that's going to reflect how you build out your whole landscape, all your coral. And then you think about the reef. Anytime you have a reef of 4 or more tiles, or not tiles, but 4 or more sections, all the native animals that are touching that section, they all double. And man, I love that because I'm always like, oh man, I'm going to build this giant reef and I'm going to get all these native animals and they're all going to double. And it's just so satisfying when that happens. And then I haven't even spoken on all the challenges, but there's the variants, the family variant, the advanced variant, the solo rules, and then there's the achievements, the scenarios, the challenges, the modifications. So they have a whole bunch of different challenges that you can play solo. You can play with, your family. I think that's amazing. You use, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 17 ecosystems, and you try to get a minimum 20 points from your small animals. Can you do it and also get 65 points? I love that. And then it has different challenges. Another 25 on this page. Modifications, 10 more on. So like just the amount of gameplay in this game is pretty remarkable. And again, it's from the op, so this is going to be seen as quote-unquote a more mass marketing game. But people are going to get this. They're going to be drawn into the artwork. And they're going to be like, man, there's a lot going on in this box. And I love it. Maybe I feel that, the game ends in 17 turns. You're always like, oh man, I just wanted one more tile because I could have put it here and that would have finished, this habitat. I would have been able to score this and get this large animal. You always feel as if you're running out of time and you always just want one more turn. And I like that in games because it keeps you engaged and you're like, can I get this? Should I start this animal and hope that I can get 2 more tiles to line up so I can create a habitat for, a turtle or whatever it is. And so, I don't know. I can't say many negative things about this game besides it might be too light for some. It's not breaking the mold on new stuff. There's going to be hate drafting. But this is a fantastic game. You got the family mode. You got the advanced variants. Absolutely fantastic. 85% chance of meeples for Aqua. Biodiversity in the oceans. Highly recommend checking this one out. 85% chance of meeples. Check it out. My name is Brent. Check us out on Facebook, Cloudy with a Chance of Meeples. Till next time, grab your umbrella. The forecast is cloudy with a chance of meeples.